Welcome back to tonight's stream of Boise State Esports. As the evening starts to wind down, the excitement ramps up as we move on to our final game of the night, Overwatch. This is going to be Boise State versus Sacramento State, BSU versus Sac State, and I am really excited for this match. One of the great reasons I'm excited for this match is, like in all teams that we see from Boise State, tonight we're going to be seeing a mix of new players and experienced players, and to help talk about what we're looking forward to in those players, I've got Jolly with me on desk, coming over from League of Legends, and I've also got Michael Fish Fisher joining us too, so welcome, Fish. And looking at this, we've got a mix of new players, but we've also got names that we've all come to know and love here in Boise State Overwatch: CBMX, Solpen, Saladot. Tell us what we can expect from all of them tonight.
We can expect a lot of the pocket picks that we've been seeing. A lot of Reaper, I'm assuming. Now that we're back to a 2-2-2 composition for these guys, they have just so much more opportunity to play what they want to and not be forced into the GOATS meta that was so standard last season. Basilisk as well. He's really on this list, the primary new player. I think everybody else we've seen from last season. And oh my God, he's devastating. He's played a lot of Sigma, and we've seen him on the Doomfist, and he can really play anybody he wants to, but those two in particular are very scary to see him on.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I know you want to try and rah-rah for the fact we're switching the meta, but unfortunately from what we've seen so far this year, the meta is basically already being established. You're going to see probably a Mei Reaper, you're going to see a Sigma Orisa there. The healers are really the only thing that's changing. We might see something else come out, but it's really going to see who's better on that comp, because that's the only thing you're seeing right now is you're seeing shields up front, you're seeing the Mei Reaper to isolate for the Death Blossom, and then you're just seeing the support sort of change based on who's comfortable on what.
At least it's not GOATS.
Yes, that's true.
Honestly, so long as the meta changes to something other than GOATS, I will be happy, because GOATS was it was boring to cast, and it was boring for the players too. It really didn't offer much flexibility at all. It was one comp.
I have a feeling going forward for a few years, when people make criticisms about the meta, and some will be really well founded, but there will always be one person who said, yeah, but remember, GOATS.
Exactly. It's not GOATS. That's as bad as the meta might be, or as restricting as it might be, it is not as isolating as GOATS was for us. So we're actually able to see a lot more of these preferred heroes coming out from this team, and ones that they clearly would have liked to play last season, clearly do very well on now at their top picks. We got a little dab there. You see our players having a good time. That's all about smiles here at Boise State. Even both winning and losing, with dignity and honor. And so, as long as we see those smiles, we know we're doing something right.
It's hard not to have fun playing video games and being forced by your university to play video games. That makes life a lot easier.
Well, on certain nights, I challenge that notion of having fun playing video games, depending on how matches go. One thing I wanted to say that I'm really excited about that match, and we were talking this much earlier in the night with Rocket League, but one of the great things we see about these esport matches is just all the different places people come from. We've got students from California who might be going to Oregon, students from Washington who are now going to Boise State, and I love this matchup so much, Boise State versus Sac State, because it goes into my personal family, who has really been loyal to Boise State, but also Sacramento State. A few members have gone there in the past, so it's just different for every person, I know, but you really see in different matchups that are brought up all these people from all sorts of different backgrounds coming together and united on one thing, and we have so much fun watching them and seeing the skill. It's just a really great uniting thing to focus on from wherever people are.
And rarely we generally see the same team being played across the three games. Tonight we have had three separate. We've started out with Oregon, jumped over to Drury, and now we are moving to Sac State. So it is always nice as well to see just this eclectic group of players from all over the United States. And Sac State is one that we love playing against. Is a bunch of great players, a fantastic director, some great people leading this, and a big presence as well when it comes to varsity esports, and already some major movements in. We saw Lucio jump in to try to get a quick eye on the composition there, immediately taking some damage, having to back off a little bit.
As you can already see, the shields are just coming out left and right, as it looks like Vasquez is going to go down there for Boise State. Saladon trying to pick people off as we're waiting for the point to unlock there, going to get Chaotic X for Sacramento State, though Pyros and Sulpan are going to go down for Boise State, so they're without their tank right now. CBMX goes down as well. Saladon goes down as well, so it looks like Sacramento State is going to start with the point there. Yes, they are going to capture it, so Boise State going to be playing from behind. Let's see what they can do, because that early engage, not a good look for the Broncos right now.
Not at all. I think only one elimination going through there, and it was Y, and his turrets actually were able to claim that one. A good move in from Chaotic X8 there as that Doom Fist. And Psycho as well. There we go. Y's ultimate is going to be used. Pyros jumping in here. Saladon Maisky trying to do as much as possible. Getting stunned down there. The Coalescence coming out from Pyros. Will it be enough to keep his team alive as Saladon gets stunned down again? Chaotic X8 has that Meteor Strike. Will use it and take down Saladon Maisky. Take down another member, Sulpan as well. Omi going down, and Sac State really just destroying the Broncos here. This is not a point they are easily going to contest.
No, Y tried to sort of cut the point in half there with the Photon Barrier. The Coalescence stayed on one side, so Boise State was able to stay alive for that long. But once the Photon Barrier went down, Boise State sort of got caught up in the fact that Sac State, since they won that first engage, had more ultimates than Boise State. We see two of them are up right now, the Reaper and the Lucio, while Boise State has nothing up. Saladon Maisky about to get his up, but it's still a 2v1. So right now, Boise State is just playing from behind, and they have to get to the point because Sac State's already at 62%.
Y swapping over to that Reaper, definitely a necessary one when it comes to these current compositions. We're not seeing the Mei on this, but it may end up coming in handy here. Psycho has the ultimate as well as Omi. Saladon Maisky gonna use the Meteor Strike. Sulpan takes Omi out of this one, but Saladon Maisky immediately getting stunned out by Fossa. Psycho removing two there with his ultimate, and Chaotic X taking down another two. A good punch to Y's face means he's not going to get more than 13% before being sent back home.
I just got to say, I can already notice you're starting to fill the pun gap left in as soon as Baratel has left the desk. Jolly.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't want to say that he's stolen my thunder on those, but he's a little bit better at the bad puns than I am. Akito taking out Saladon Maisky. He doesn't even get the chance to do anything. Taking down another. That's two members with his Coalescence there. Sulpan might make things difficult for Sulpan. CBMX using his ultimate. Pyros did have the Coalescence up there, but immediately gets taken down by the Death Blossom from Omi, who is just obliterating these Broncos here. And now a little bit of a contesting on this point. It is at 99%. We are sent into overtime here, but there's not a lot that Basilisk can do because he and only two other members of Boise State are remaining up, and that is all it takes. Sac State phenomenally reigning over that one.
Well, earning their name of the Stainers, because that is a staining defeat for Boise.
Yes, yes.
Well, really, Sac State just sort of got in the point and was just ahead the whole time. And the fact that they got, I think, 4 eliminations on the start of the game, but to Boise State's 1. Boise State was just behind on ultimates the whole time, and really they just couldn't catch up. I'm not sure what Boise State could do besides just get the point first, because that really was the deciding factor the whole time. It's so hard to play from behind, especially when you also lose that first engage. And
I think that Symmetra was an iffy choice. They did want to set up those turrets. They were able to get the one elimination, but she didn't really offer as much as somebody like the Reaper would have in that small, tight area. So we'll see if Boise State decides to make a little bit of a change. Usually the Symmetra is only selected anyway on that defensive side, as they were able to get to the point first here. So we'll see if they make a bit of a change, and a couple of these members really showing themselves off as maybe an attempted better Meteor Striker there. We can see the Doom Fist taking some shots in, but Chaotic X Karmi and Psycho already removing members here. Y went back to that Symmetra, and it did not work here. We can see Basilisk riding along the walls here, staying alive, trying to just get back to the team as they reset, and Y, again, swapping over to the Reaper. He could have started out with that one and opted for the Symmetra instead.
Both teams really had the same idea. They both had the Symmetra, and they both tried to put the teleporter up on top in the window. Sac State was just faster. The entire Sac State team was already there. Then Y countered, so Boise State started from behind, and that's why now they're trying to fight back and forth. As we see Basilisk, the May wall is going to come down here from Saladon Maisky. Basilisk trying to get in there and sort of push Sac State off the point. Saladon Maisky is going to go down, though, on the May, so Boise State already down one member, trying to regroup. CBMX about to go down as well, though he is going to get enough heals to stay alive for now. Basilisk gets knocked away as Boise State right now is just trying to trade back and forth on shields, but nobody's on the point as both tanks, Sulpan and CBMX, go down at the exact same time. Pyros goes down as well for Boise State, so once again, Sac State is going to push Boise State back. 2 ultimates up for Sac State, and right now Boise State is just trying to regroup as Pyros does have the Coalescence when they try and push for this point.
And this is is an average SR of around 4,000, high 3,000, low 4,000 for Sac State. So a very formidable foe as a team, and we can see exactly why here. Pyro's going to pop the Coalescence to start this, but Chaotic X immediately takes down CBMX before anything can happen, and this is the one to keep an eye on. This Doomfist is absolutely insane on hitting the backline. Omi doing very well with that Symmetra. Y and Soulpan both being taken away from this fight. The ultimate coming down there, and they have 3 ults available now that they can still use on the next fight. Boise State, nobody really close to hitting theirs quite yet, and nothing working out well for them. They need to find the synergy that Sac State is encountering these fights with.
Yeah, and right now Boise State is just really far behind. They have 3 ultimates for Sac State, so they can easily use the counter, as we are going to see as they try to set up Omni. The sentry turrets there to catch Boise State off guard. Soulpan is going to go down. Y is going to go down as well. Now Saladon My Ski is going to go down. Basilisk going to go down as well, as we saw the Doomfist just jump behind the entire enemy team by Chaotic X there. So right now Boise State is just trying to figure out how to even get to the point. They can't even get around that sort of choke point that Sac State is basically just walking them into, and there's not enough shields on Boise State to soak all this damage and push through, even though they do have the Orisa and the Sigma there, as we are seeing CBMX try and push some damage, but Boise State still just can't get through that first line of defense. We are in overtime. It does look like some member of Boise State is on the point. Basilisk, of course, trying to just wall run around and keep us in overtime. Y and Soulpan, Pyro's all going to go down. Basilisk has the sound barrier. He's going to use it on himself, but he's not going to get on the point. Boise State, once again, just rocked there by Sac State.
Sac State taking the first one for themselves. Still a lot of a chance for Boise State. That was incredibly quick, and that was because Boise State did not have even a moment to sit on the point without any interference. And Carmi actually going to get the play of the game here, but big shout out to Chaotic X8, who is just dominating the back line there. There we see the one, Pyros going down, Basa getting an elimination there, and every single member of Sac State knowing exactly who to focus at what point there.
That was just a really good job by Sac State getting on the point first, and then just basically dominating Boise State and not allowing them to get back on the point. When you play from behind and when you're down behind on ultimates, it's so hard to just take advantage of anything, because you're going to use one ultimate, they'll use 2, and they still have 2 back up.
Especially in something like Control that goes that quickly. Once you've hit the point of a full control on that area, there's really no recovery, no easy recovery. They tried to adjust the team composition, but a bit of that issue too was the initial changes. We had the switch from the Symmetra over to the Reaper, and that happened instantly on that first death of Symmetra. So any charge, any gain in that ultimate immediately goes away, and that also means that the Reaper comes in at 0% on the secondary fight. And at that point in the game, you've already got Meteor Strike available on the Doomfist, and not only that, but on Chaotic X8, who is he's hitting the backline so hard. He knows exactly when to engage. And Boise State are kind of trying to trickle into that area. It is a difficult map to be able to really fully engage on as a full 6-man team. And as soon as one member poked their head out, Sac State was so aggressive and even pushed them away from the point. They were taking that fight out to the front area, and Boise State really not able to capitalize on any of it.
Yeah, the problem there was Sac State and Boise State had the exact same plan. We're going to use the Symmetra, we're going to use the teleporter, we're going to try and teleport above the point, because it works great if one team's underneath you. The problem is they both did it. Sac State was a little bit quicker, and so Boise State basically got mirrored but was a little slower moving over. So that's why you saw the instant change. I like the Symmetra there for the teleport, but if you're the second team to do it and you fall behind, then as you said, you're going to switch over. You get reset. So Boise State had a good plan. The problem was Sac State had the exact same thinking.
But the first round, Boise State actually got to the point first, and it was with that Symmetra, and they still lost the point initially. They weren't even able to control the point. It was 0%. Sac State just happened to eliminate them, even though they were the second team to get there. So going into that second round with the same idea, and they were slower on top of it, means that you're really not going to come out of that ahead. So maybe, a bit of a change that early on when you recognize, hey, they have the upper hand in more ways than one. Try to take some sort of a different sort of method. We saw the swap over to the May, trying to get that wall up to prevent damage onto that front line, just so all 6 members could engage in. But there was so much focus on the back line from the Doomfist that wasn't even possible for this team.
Yeah, I think the one other problem with Symmetra is, it doesn't look like we're going to see it here, is Photon Barrier isn't very strong against Sac State's team. They don't run a lot of range projectiles. You can't Photon Barrier or Meteor Strike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's not much that Symmetra can do against a Meteor Strike. That's pretty much an instant death for her. We can see why prepping this wall did break off a couple of members here. already going to have to use that ice block there to prevent the damage coming out from the Reaper. Sulpan taking so much, though, behind a shield. Omi going to be accredited with that elimination there. A good wall from Y is going to try to break off Omi from the rest of the team, but he is going to eliminate Salad on my ski before moving on to the rest of the team. Pyros is the second one to go down. So much damage is just being thrown across every single member of Boise State. They don't have a chance here, and Omi is being credited with the majority of these eliminations. Aikido as well on this Moira has known exactly when to throw out that damaging orb, and it has been quite devastating to Boise State.
Yeah, the thing is, Sacramento State is just pushing very aggressively. We saw the wall from Y there, but the problem was you didn't isolate any members of Sac State because they're just all pushing together with the double shield of the Sigma and their Rissa, as we are going to see them get the first point. Now they're going to start escorting the payload. Here's Y with an ice wall, is going to get Chaotic X, finally caught him out from the rest of the team. So now Boise State has a little bit of advantage. We do see a bunch of shields coming down. Saddle My Ski going to take out Fosta. CBMX is going to take out the opposing Sigma as well there. So now Boise State sort of has the advantage. Pyros is going to have the coalescence here for the next big fight, the May wall, to keep them all in their spawn and sort of burn some of the time. So Boise State right now is in the advantage. So we are going to see the dueling coalescence probably come out here at some point. Those are the only ultimates up for both teams, but CBMX does have the lead on Skyo, so that's going to be the next ultimate up for Boise State, I'm going to think, is the Sigma ult. So Boise State right now sort of able to fend off that aggressive Sac State play. We saw a great ice wall from May to catch out Omni, so Boise State at least in the advantage for now, as we are seeing Sac State try and sneak around. The ice wall is going to come out, isolate Omni. Is Omni going to go down? Doesn't look like the Sayo is going to go down for Sac State, so Boise State, here comes the coalescence out from Pyros, just trying to push the entire team back. Kadio going to live. Is he going to use the ultimate? Now Sac State has 3, but Chaotic X goes down before he can Meteor Strike, so Boise State right now just keeping them in their spawn. They're trying to knock. Sac State just is sort of caught in this really small corridor, and there's not anywhere they can go, as Boise State's now going to have 2 up, but they were sort of back there on the payload there, which is sort of a mistake by Boise State to send all 6 members for less than 6 members of Sac State, as they do have 4 ultimates up now.
Not only into those members, but behind them. We saw Pyros actually dash through to get the final elimination there. Y is going to take Omi out of the fight, and that's a good one to get down early on. We see Meteor Strike, and almost not quite used there. We have 5 ultimates available from Sac State and 4 from Boise State. Pyros and Saladon both very close, as well as Carmi actually. So we may see a 6 ultimate versus 6 ultimate fight coming up here. They are likely going to try to reserve them for that purpose specifically. The Supercharger, however, is going to be quite pivotal. There we go. Psycho using his ultimate. The 2 coalescences coming out, and everything is going down. A good stun. Chaotic X is going to pick up 1 member there. Pyros is going to take another down with that coalescence. Sulpan and Salad on my ski both finding the right members of this team, as Fossa was not able to use the Supercharger for that fight, and Boise State coming out very well ahead.
I think that was the difference in the fight. I was expecting this is going to be a Supercharger battle. Fossa didn't use the Supercharger. That had all the difference there for Boise State. All of their damage was increased, so Fossa now has the Supercharger. Carmi has the Sound Barrier, but there's no offensive ults for Sac State. We do see Salad on my ski has the Death Blossom there, if they can sort of combo it. It looks like he's trying to sneak behind the enemy team. I'm not sure Sac State knows he goes there. He needs to go in. Boise State is starting to drop low. Y just got to get healed up. Here's going to come the Death Blossom out. He's going to get 3, 4, 5 members.
What?
Whoa.
5 members going down to that. Y is going to clean up Psycho. A full ace for Boise State. An incredible play, and I am almost positive that will be play of the game for Salad on my ski, using that Death Blossom just perfectly.
Boise State, a perfect capitalization on Sac State, just trying to get way too aggressive. They didn't see the Reaper. They thought, oh, he can't be right above us. He was right above them and knocks down 5 of them, eventually gets the T-wipe. So a great play there. We are going to see the Coalescence come down here from Pyros. He's going to knock down, as Omni actually switched to the Symmetra. Kind of an interesting choice. Dueling Coalescence is here, as the KDO uses his as well. The Supercharger came down from Fossa, as well as the Sound Barrier. So Boise State, unfortunately, just not enough damage to move through the Sound Barrier from Carmi on Sac State. So it looks like Y is going to go down as well. So Boise State is going to lose that fight because of the Supercharge they held on for so long. And the Symmetra change is interesting, though, for Omni, and Chaotic X is going to go to the Reaper. So there's no more Doomfist now for Sac State.
That Sound Barrier was absolutely absurd, though. It was in tandem right as the coalescences, I guess, because both of them came out at about the same time. It was essentially negated the damage that he was trying to get through with that. It offered the healing, obviously, but that's not going to do much when there's a Supercharger on the other side. Psycho and Omi both have their ultimates available here. All of the rest are quite low. Y getting very close with the Blizzard, and now just a lot of damage popping back and forth between these players. Sulpan trying to jump up to avoid the damage there, but he does go down to Omi, and Psycho is going to take CBMX out of this fight as well. Aikido means Basilisk is going home. Same with Salad on my ski. Pyros the only one with the ultimate there. Sulpan does have the Supercharger up and available, but Pyros needs to move back and reconsolidate with his team, as he is one of the only ones left up. Y does now have that Blizzard available, and the combination of these 3 ultimates can be great for Boise State. If they can get the Supercharger and the Blizzard down and throw the Coalescence in there on top of that, it will be huge and potentially pivotal. There goes the Supercharge. The Coalescence is soon to follow. The Blizzard has not come out yet, but that is because 6 members are not quite close enough for them to be able to actually fully utilize it. And a good job of avoiding that Supercharger damage for Sac State. Aikido is going to burn the Coalescence in response there. Almost an opportunity for Blizzard to come out here. Chaotic X jumping down, using that Death Blossom, is going to remove a member there. Why? As he throws the Blizzard down, gets eliminated. Soulpan and Basilisk, though, are going to prove that that Blizzard was all they needed to be able to get the eliminations on these members. CBMX now has his ultimate available. He's going to hold on to that one for the next fight. Pyros already has his Coalescence up and available again.
Coalescence is just one of the fastest charging ultimates in the game, especially when you play that sort of aggressive way there. But the interesting thing is you saw Y was tracking Chaotic X. He wasn't able to get behind the team. He tried to do what Saladin My Ski did and get behind them with a Death Blossom. Y was right on top of that. I think he might have froze him in the middle of it and slowed him down, then dropped the Blizzard on top of him. So a great job there by Y tracking where the enemy Reaper is. Fossa, though, about to go down for Sac State. He was caught off by the ice wall there, but he is going to get some healing. But he is actually going to go down. Soulpan going to get him. Pyros now still has the Coalescence. Saladin My Ski has the Death Blossom. Acadio used his Coalescence as well there. So Fossa just has the Supercharger. We do see a Photon Barrier almost up there for Omni, as Skyo now has the Sigma ult. So Boise State pushing Sac State back for now, about 1:20 left on the clock. 4 ultimates up for Boise State, so I'm assuming they're either going to want to chain those all together or try and spread them out, as there's only maybe 1 or 2 fights left here if you're Sac State, because you don't have any damage ults up. Acadio is going to get the Coalescence up. So right now, Basilisk hiding up there, probably going to drop the Sound Barrier on the first sign of an engage here. Right now, the teams are just sort of looking at each other. Sac State was trying to get behind the enemy team with a perfect teleport there from Omni. The Photon Barrier is going to be answered by the Sound Barrier there from Basilisk. CBMX going to use his ultimate as well. Supercharger is going to come down from Fossa. Acadio is going to use the Coalescence. The Sound Barrier is answered by Karmi. Pyros is going to use his Coalescence as well. Saladin My Ski used his Death Blossom. Got 2 members of Sac State, so Boise State going to prevail, it looks like, in this fight, as they're just trying to clean up everything else because they had the 4 ultimates. They dropped all of them, and Soulpan is now going to have the Supercharger with about 39 seconds left for that last fight that Sac State needs. And the problem is they're not dying together. They're all sort of spread out. Boise State, a perfect job of just pushing them all off the point, but not killing them. So we're going to see one last fight with really only 1 ultimate up. Chaotic X might have the Death Blossom. Just depends on how much poke he can do. As we are going to see the Supercharger come down here from Soulpan, just trying to give Boise State as much damage as possible. Basilisk is going to eliminate Fossa there. A great job eliminating their Supercharger. Omni's going to go down, as well as Pyros is just pumping damage onto the enemy team. That Supercharger, look at that range. All 6 members of Boise State are empowered, just pushing Sac State back. 2 members are going to go down. There's 8 seconds left. We're going to see a Doomfist change here just to try and get to the point. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Coalescence comes down here from Acadio, just trying to push Boise State back, as we are contested on the point. It looks like Karmi got behind on the Lucio there to just try and force overtime. Y is going to go down. Pyros is going to drop his Coalescence, but he's going to go down. Boise State now unfortunately falling in overtime, is now Soulpan's going to go down. Saladin My Ski, CBMX. So now Y is the only person available, and it's in overtime. Boise State just needs to get 1 push off the point, and then not sure they can get it, as the Blizzard's going to come up from Y, but 5 members are dead.
5 members dead, and a lot of members there from Sac State sitting on the point, and they were getting a lot of pressure here. This is going to be the final stand from Boise State. They did not make the second mistake twice, as Sac State split themselves up at the previous fight. They all go in 6v6. The Blizzard available, and this will be huge for Boise State. It does not get thrown down. There we go. Y is going to use it. Saladin My Ski getting very, very low, getting stunned down and getting eliminated. Basilisk now has the Sound Barrier available, able to pop it, and then immediately get taken down. Pyros, the only member available from Boise State, as Fossa, Omi, and Chaotic X each doing their due diligence and taking down a member of Boise State there. Round 1 going to go again in favor of Sac State.
The problem there was for Boise State. They looked like they had a great engage with about a minute left on the clock. The problem is they needed to use, it looked like, all 4 ultimates to win that fight. And when Sac State got on the point and was able to force overtime, Boise State had no answer.
And the Coalescence, actually, that coming out is kind of a last resort there from Aikido. On to Boise State. There were 6 members there at full health. They just threw up a shield, and then they thought, hey, we're okay. We keep the pressure on this point. And around the corner came 5 other members to follow up that Coalescence. They may not have had the ultimates available, but they were able to send that Doomfist to the back line, and that's all they needed to break through the Boise State front end there. So Boise State knowing what weak points Sac State has, but the Stingers also recognizing exactly how they can take down Boise State, and a big factor there is Omi, as well as the Chaotic X there.
I mean, what they need to do here is just take a deep breath, think about their strategy, think about how Sac State is engaging with them, and most importantly, remind themselves that Sacramento is in fact not a state. I know that's a super relevant criticism that I'm sure
Boise,
that they've heard. I know.
We've heard that one a lot, so yeah,
I know.
That's probably one that
it's the most pressing, most logically thought out,
it really is.
the best criticism you could ever levy.
There's a lot of those, though, considering that we get that in particular. People that join in the chat, I mean, alone for California, they have very many. Sacramento, Fresno, you have a bunch of city-states, so again, it's
two things that we have in common.
Idaho State's fault that they're just not as good as Boise State. I think that's what the problem is.
That's the main takeaway here, is really, but they're both capital city universities.
That is true. Sac State, one that we played much before, and a great jump over. They completely avoided that ice wall, all of them popping on top of it, able to break right through, the barriers coming through, but Chaotic X, Psycho, and again, that Reaper just melting through Boise State. They tried to break off the front line or any portion of that team, and that was not enough. A May is not enough to keep you away from the entirety of the team. They're sticking together so very well. They're all building up their ultimate charges in unison, and that means that when it comes time, they're going to be able to utilize them in unison as well.
Yeah, Omni with another perfect wall there, though, as Boise State finally starting to get some damage. We are going to see the crowd freeze come out. Yeah, Omni's going to go just dropping a bunch of ice walls there. He is going to go down. Chaotic X starting to get pushed back. Soulpan did go down there for Boise State, but Boise State is starting to get the advantage here on the point. Akito does have the Coalescence, but Pyros is going to pop his first immediately onto Sac State. Now we're going to see the Coalescence come down here from Akito. Y going to have to use that ice barrier as well, very low. Pyros going to have to turn around and heal him. CBMX is going to go down for Boise State, as it looks like for now Sac State was able to answer with the winning Coalescence there. Pyros trying to get away, but he's going to go down as well. So 3 members down for Boise State. They're going to have to fall back, so a great answer there by Sac State. Coalescence. Unfortunately, Boise State took too much damage for Pyros to use the Coalescence offensively. He had to use it to heal, and that's really what changed that fight.
And that's not where you want Chaotic X to jump to. He was able to run around the back line. Y was the only one facing him, and he was almost no health as well on that engage. So Boise State going to try to sneak through this ice wall. 3 ultimates up and available for Sac State, though. Omi and Aikido both taking quite a bit of damage. Basilisk now has that sound barrier up and available. CBNX throwing up that ultimate, going to get 5 members there. Chaotic X, though, follows it up with a Death Blossom onto Boise State's back line, and that is going to be enough to eliminate every single one. The Supercharger, really just the nail in the coffin on that fight.
Yeah, Sac State just used all of their ultimates there. The problem was they had 4 in Boise State. It looked like they had 1 there from CBMX, so that was the difference. The Karmi popping the sound barrier as they were all getting knocked up by CBMX really just prevented them from taking any damage. Now Boise State is going to have 3 up. We're going to see the Lucio, the Pyros, and Salad on My Ski have it up. As Salad on My Ski almost goes down as they come around this corner. Another great ice wall there by Y to try and save as much damage. Saladon going to try and get behind the enemy lines. Bastel's going to use the sound barrier here, so Saladon can't get behind with the Death Blossom. It looks like he's going to get no members, though, of Sac State, as the Coalescence popped perfectly by Akado, and the Blizzard came down from Omni there to just sort of slow down Salad on My Ski, but now it looks like Boise State is sort of picking them off. Actually, no, it looks like Boise State's going to get this fight turned around on them, as no members of Sac State are going to go down. Actually, Foster's going to go down there at the very end. Salad on My Ski trying to do what he can. He will get a KO, but Boise State, once again, just a perfect answer by Sac State to just sort of all of them survive the Death Blossom from the Coalescence.
That was insane.
And then the Blizzard
they were
dropped
all
by
sitting
Omni.
at very, very little health. I mean, you were looking at less than a single bar and being kept alive there by Aikido with the Coalescence. Perfectly timed. Again, they were really using these ultimates in unison very, very well. Soulpan's going to throw down the Supercharger and will be enough for Boise State to take this one home. Pyros is going to remove Omi from this fight. Very low charge. No ultimates available from Sac State, meaning Boise State is going to get another elimination there. Salad on My Ski finds out Psycho there, and now they have eyes on this whole team. They're able to push them back, at least to the point where they need to reconsolidate themselves. And Boise State pushing this one as far as they can as they break the May away from this. The wall is going to go up to separate her from the fight. She does get taken down in the meantime, though, and now CBMX is on the run as he takes down Fossa to follow that up. Boise State just running through this team. They're going to keep as much pressure on as possible. They found an advantage, they found a pressure point, and they're not going to relent until it's taken away from them.
A great job on the ice wall there by Y to sort of keep Fossa away from retreating for the rest of his team, as we are going to see probably dueling Coalescences in this fight. Interesting by Sac State. I'm not sure if it's because Fossa went down, but it looks like they're just giving Boise State this payload right now, but sort of an interesting strategy here. I'm not quite sure what Sac State's doing. They literally just look like they're just going to hand them that first checkpoint. They're not even just sort of putting anything in. Now they are going to sort of come around, so interesting job there by Sac State. Salad on My Ski going to try and sneak around. This time, though, Chaotic X knew exactly what was going to happen. He looks like he is going to win the battle of the Reapers. CBMX going to pop the his ultimate down there. As we are going to see the dueling Coalescences come out. Foster going to use the Supercharger, though, and now Chaotic X is going to use the Death Blossom there. So unfortunately, Salad on My Ski lost the battle of the Reapers, and then advantage. Chaotic X was able to go in there and just use his Death Blossom. Saladon has his, and Sac State wins the 6v5.
Now, Y was there in that hallway with Saladon my ski, so I'm not sure if Y ended up jumping down out the window to re-engage with the rest of the team. That would mean he left Saladon all on his lonesome to fight that Reaper, and he took so much damage at the start of that, there was really no coming back. He had to escape from there, and without the support of Y on his back, and he was going to lose that fight, and that means it is a 6v5. Saladon my ski, the only member here that on Boise State that has his ultimate available. He's going to teleport in and try to hit this back line, but the Blizzard comes down from Omi. That means he is going to have to shift away from this one. Not in a great position to use the ultimate, but he is going to be able to take down Karmi from this one. Get very, very low. Aikido gets eliminated by Basilisk. Y and Saladon my ski not able to use their ultimates before going down here. Basilisk, the one surviving member, was able to take down a member of Sac State, but he's going to return to the rest of his team, get that bit of a speed boost so that they can catch up to Sacramento State, and he does have a sound barrier available for this next engage, followed up with a Blizzard and a potential Death Blossom. Could be devastating for Sacramento State, and they are very low on their charges toward ultimate, so Boise State really needs to use this well, and they can get full advantage on this point.
Yeah, as we're going to see, Pyros is going to get the Coalescence up here as well, as we are going to see the Death Blossom Blizzard come out as well as the sound barrier there. Doesn't look like Saladon's going to get anyone with the Death Blossom. We will take out Fossa. Soulpan's going to take out Sayo there as well. Omni's going to go down there as well for Sac State, so Boise State going to chain those three ultimates together very well there, as Karmi's going to go down. Chaotic X just trying to do what damage he can. Akidio's going to go down, saving the Coalescence there. Now Chaotic X is going to go down, so a great job there by Boise State. Just like you said, Saladon, Y, and Basilisk chaining all three of those ultimates together to push onto the point, so they are going to get that payload there. They're going to have 2 minutes to just beat the clock. They just have to get it there before 0 seconds. Soulpan's going to have the Supercharger. Acadio and Pyros are going to have the Coalescence, but a great job there by Boise State, chaining together the ultimates they knew they needed to get that first checkpoint.
And Pyros, recognizing the sound barrier was popped, no need for that Coalescence to be burned, even though it was achieved, was unlocked right before the start of that fight. Basilisk going to run on this back line here. Saladon my ski taking quite a bit of damage. He needs a little bit of healing. Pyros is going to follow that up with the Coalescence and the Supercharger coming out. Saladon my ski going to take down Fossa, CBMX, as well as taking down Omi, and that means the Blizzard is not going to come out for this fight for Sac State. Aikido does have a Coalescence available, and Psycho does have his ultimate as well. Pyros taking a bit of damage, but just getting a great amount of charge there towards the ultimate, able to back out, gain up some health. Boise State now putting a lot of pressure on this payload. They're getting very close to the final point here, with still a minute left on the clock.
We're going to see the Coalescence come down here from Acadio. We're also going to see Psycho use his ult as well on Boise State. Omni saving the Blizzard for now, but CBMX and Soulpan are going to go down. Little Basilisk is going to boot one person off the edge there. Great job to nick out Psycho, but for Boise State, unfortunately, 5 members are going to go down at the time, so Sac State just able to use the 2 ultimates there. Now Boise State sort of has to regroup, and the problem is there's no ultimates up for Boise State. CBMX should get his here shortly, but you see the 2 damage ultimates up for Sac State. The Blizzard, as Chaotic X is going to go behind and get everybody.
And that's what's going to break it for Boise State. Basilisk was the one surviving member trying to get back to his team there to allow them to catch up, and now it is a 5v6 as he has to return to the rest of his team here. We have 25 seconds left on the clock. CBMX has his ultimate up and available. Y and Saladon my ski, though, very, very close, very tempting to go in and get as much charge as possible, but they are very low as well. The Blizzard coming down, and he's going to freeze almost every member of Boise State. All of the ultimates available are not going to be used. Saladon my ski now the only one with his up and available. Pyros as well. He is going to burn the Coalescence just to try to keep this game going. He does not want to be the final one to be wiped out here, but it is 1v6 against Sac State, and this is overtime. He's just trying to keep this contested. Saladon my ski trying to make it there. Basilisk using the sound barrier there. He's able to maintain himself and stay alive. CBMX throwing down the ultimates. Can Saladon my ski get there in time to use the Death Blossom? He's going to do his best. There he goes, jumping in, throwing out the Death Blossom. Does not get any eliminations right now and ends up getting taken out very soon after. Pyros now the only one available, but not able to get to the point in time.
Sac State just had 3 ultimates. It looks like the Supercharger was up there, so unfortunately for Boise State, they just kind of ran out of ultimates. They used their 3 ultimates there to get the first checkpoint, and then Sac State just had more ultimates up to them than the rest of the time, so Boise State just couldn't have enough time on the clock because that first point took them so long. As we are going to see Chaotic X here get the play of the game. It looked probably with like the Death Blossom there, yep, combo with the Blizzard, but Boise State just ran out of time and ran out of ultimates.
And I mentioned as well, that was the turning point when Basilisk went down. He was the last surviving member, and that would have been a full 6-man clear with 45 seconds left on the clock. That's enough time for Boise State as a 6-man to re-engage on that, but they did not have the chance because Basilisk was chased down by the opposing Lucio and eliminated, and that meant they did not get the speed boost from him. They were running into a 5v6. They didn't have the full composition that they needed to win that fight. So great move by Sacramento State, a great pickup on finding that Lucio out and removing him from the factor. That really gave them the final round.
But all things said, as compared to how dominant the first round was, that was a very well-played round on both teams' side, that they were able to drive it to overtime and able to make it to where it looked like Boise State, they held Sacramento State fairly well, and they were able to push. It wasn't a situation where it was 0 to 100 like the first round.
I wanted to see that 5-man Death Blossom, though, from Boise State, making it onto the play of the game. It did not, but we will likely see that in a replay here coming up soon. There we can see the Sacramento State lineup: Aikido, Chaotic X8, Carmi, Omi, Psycho, and Fasa. A great lineup, and they are proving to be a very difficult competitor here for Boise State, who has been on a bit of a winning streak. So maybe this might kind of put them in their place a little bit mentally, maybe. But it's really some good plays from all of these teams. And this is not the end of it. We have another round. It is best of 5, so Boise State potentially going to be able to take advantage on this, especially because they do get to choose this map.
Yeah, I think the big thing here has been basically the Death Blossom. Whichever Reaper has sort of won that Reaper fight. I think we love the play of the game, which we thought should have been the play of the game by Salad on my ski, but it's almost like he blew the idea too early of, I'm going to try and sneak behind you guys and I'm going to set it up. We saw it was great, and then he tried it again. Chaotic X was just looking at him. He won the Reaper fight. He got behind him, so it's almost like, hey, that's a great idea. Now I'm going to do it to you guys. And unfortunately for Salad on my ski, he couldn't win the Reaper battle. That could have turned the game. And the problem for Boise State is it just the time was just working against them. They didn't. I know you only had to get it with 1 second left, but they took so long on the first point. They took a little bit longer on the second point. They didn't have as much time as Sac State did, and Sac State got it with 0 seconds.
And that initial drop down as well with that Death Blossom of Salad on my ski, able to get 5 of the 6 members, and then he was able to follow it up as well. Or I think May ended up getting the last elimination there. The second time they tried to engage on that, though, you'll notice the first time he waited for his team to engage, and then he dropped down behind that engage. So he was not taking the aggression. However, at the next one, he was alone, and I mentioned that the May had not abandoned him, had thought he was making the right move by going down, joining the rest of the team, and ended up leaving that Reaper to face the other Reaper alone. In that instance, you're not going to be able to escape if you're already lower on health than the initial engage there, and he is the one that was caught out from Boise State there. So Saladon taking a lot of damage, and that is where they fell short. That first engage, the team had the aggression. That second engage, the Reaper was trying to be sneaky, but it was not while the aggression was focused towards the remainder, towards the tanks on Boise State. He ended up being the main focus.
I think there, and it sort of looked like to me, is why was looking for Sac State, because Sac State just sort of said, all right, you got the first point, all right, we're all going to fall back. They didn't try and sort of meet them around the corner like most teams do, and I think Boise State was like, okay, they're setting up an ambush here. They're going to try and set something up, and when Sac State was just like, all right, no, just come to us. And I think Boise State was just sort of confused, as I was, of what is Sac State doing? They're not going to meet you there because you see you have the Sigma Orisa. There's just a bunch of shields coming down from both sides. They just said, all right, we want you to come right here and walk into us as opposed to meet you halfway. It was sort of weird, but it did work out for Sac State.
They were all at about 85-90% though on their ultimate charges. So while nobody had an ultimate up and available, there may have been like the Coalescence that was ready for Aikido. Aside from that, they were so ready to just get some long-distance shots, get a little bit of charge, and able to go into the next fight with 4 to 5 ultimates up and available, and it ended up working out well for them. It really did throw off Boise State, but you can see how they were kind of going about that thought of getting those long-range shots in, of getting that little bit of poke just to pick up enough charge to be able to get an ultimate or 2 combined together. And they did such a great job of working those. Boise State did the same thing, but it really took a lot of planning and a lot of positioning for Boise State to be able to achieve it, whereas Sac State, the Stingers were able to just make it happen almost every single time.
Yeah, it was a good job by Sac State. I'm curious here if we're going to see any comp changes, because basically until Boise State started switching there to try and force overtime, we saw the exact same comp for both teams. The Sigma and the Orisa for the Shields, the Reaper May for the Blizzard Death Blossom, and then the Lucio and the Moria as well for the Coalescence. So it's going to be interesting to see if some team wants to choose a sniper or something here, or if we're just going to run Shields, Blizzards, and Death Blossoms at each other.
A Widowmaker there for this blue side. We'll see if it comes in handy, able to reach a lot of those vantage points and also pop up some great damage if those headshots can be achieved. In a backwards facing Orisa shield, they actually ended up coming around the opposite side, throwing off Boise State quite a bit. They do have that bit of shielding, but they're all getting very, very low, and Sac State taking no damage in the meantime. Omi is going to take down part of Basilisk there. CBMX Sulpan going down. Modern Frost as that Bastion and set up in the turret is able to do quite a bit of damage, take down 1 to 2 members there of Sacramento State, but will it be enough? The objective was taken there by Sac State, and down goes the Bastion and 2 other members there of Boise State.
as we're going to see Basilisk sort of jump off there to reset. Sac State saw what Boise State was running. They had the Widowmaker, they had the Sniper, so they used the Omni Teleport and got right behind them. They got right in their face because they also had the Bastion, which is great on defense. It's great with all these shields, except when they get right up in your face. So it was a great job by Omni and Sac State to just sort of get in Boise State's face, and Boise State had no answers. There's another teleport coming down from Sac State. They're going to teleport right on top of the point. The Coalescence is going to come down from Aikido right away. That's the only ultimate even up in this fight, but he is going to go down as Modern Frost is going to take him down. Soulpan's going to go down, though, for Boise State as Aikido goes down as well, and Omni, but the Photon Barrier is up, so that time the teleport didn't work. I think they maybe got a little bit too aggressive as Chaotic X8 and Psycho are going to go down as well. So a great job there by Boise State to answer the teleporter, but I think Sac State got a little too teleport happy there as Boise State is going to walk away holding on to that point after the first point just went by so quickly.
Well, it has to make you wonder about last time in the Death Blossom. You know, once you do it once and the other team is wise to your strategy, they're more able to respond.
And you'd mentioned there were no ultimates as well available during that fight. We had Aikido able to use the Coalescence. Nothing on the side of, Aikido on that Moira. Nothing on the side of Boise State, but it looked like it was a 6v2, and then the rest of Boise State just poured in there. Now an ultimate coming out from Psycho here. Lots of damage coming down on the Soulpan and Pyros. Soulpan being eliminated from this fight. Modern Frost there very quickly to follow. He does take down Aikido before going down himself, and the rest of Boise State being eliminated from that fight. 4 minutes and 42 seconds still left on the clock, and they have almost secured this objective. Will Boise State be able to make it there in time? No, that first round of this potentially final match going in favor of Sac State.
That timer is going to be really hard to beat, and Sac State,
my goodness,
they just ran it back. I mean, Boise State answered that first teleporter. They said, well, we have the Photon Barrier up this time. They teleported to the exact same spot. They dropped the Photon Barrier because Boise State was up in that corridor there where most teams are going to come from. So Omni with another great teleporter. Boise State just wasn't ready for that. And then the Photon Barrier, you're not going to do any damage. Chaotic X8 had the Death Blossom up for all the follow-up Sac State needed. So Boise State once again caught off guard by a teleport. Another great job by Omni and Sac State.
Yeah, just the synergy between these players is pretty incredible, as I draw all over my face here today. And the ultimates we've been talking about the whole time, the synergy they have through these ultimates, even when they don't have the ultimates, though, the communication is so strong. Every time that teleporter appeared, so did 6 members of Sac State. It was not one trickling in at a time as we saw occur with Boise State and then in the previous round with Sacramento State. No, they know if they are setting down that teleporter, the second it shows up on the point, Boise State is going to see it. And if they see just the teleporter, they're going to be able to eliminate it. But if they see 6 members appear out of nowhere, it's going to be much more of a challenge because you're really not sure who's going to come out in which order, and that gives them a bit of an advantage in that situation there. So Boise State responding to the first one very quickly. Like I said, it looked like a 2v6, but as soon as the other members of Boise State rolled around, they were able to contest that. However, the second time coming around, it was a lot more staggered on the respawns for Boise State and staggered on their deaths, so they were not able to engage as a 6v6 like they would have liked to.
I mean, as we were talking about at the start of this is one of the things, I'm sure Boise State doesn't think it right now, but this is one of the best things about GOATs being eliminated with the 2-2-2 is Symmetra has seen so much play because as you saw there, how powerful not even the ultimate is, but the teleporter. The fact that you can put 6 members of your team wherever you want behind enemy lines, as we are going to get into the game here. For right now, Boise State isn't going to want to use that. We are going to basically see the same 2 comps here. As Salad on my ski is caught between 2 ice walls there. Is he going to go down? He's going to pop the ice block. No, it doesn't look like it. CBMX is going to get frozen. Not going to have enough healing there for Soulpan or CBMX or Salad on my ski, so Boise State is going to have to fall back. They just basically got trapped in between 2 ice walls. So unfortunately for Boise State, they just tried to run through Sac State, and it didn't work.
And Pyros did not have enough healing there either, was using it all the way up until it ran out completely, tried to compensate, tried to get a little bit more under his belt to be available, but at that point 3 members of Boise State were already down, so he's just not able to offer as much healing as Boise State needs because Sac State is putting up so much damage immediately and blocking off the exact members that they want to. Look at teleport there, actually ended up dropping down on the same side, Modern Frost, probably on purpose because there was an ice wall coming through, but Fasa and Aikido are going to ensure that Boise State does not enter this next fight as a 6v6. Soulpan now on the front line taking so much damage, both Pyros and he going down in that fight. Modern Frost, the moment he engages on this fight, is immediately eliminated. Psycho going to take that one home for himself.
Problem is right now is Omni has just read Boise State. He knows that right now they don't have really a way around, so he's just dropping that ice wall, usually catching a member out here. As We are see CBMX just sort of try and do some damage, build up its ultimate while the rest of the team gets there. Arcadio is going to have the Coalescence for the next time Boise State tries to go around, as we do see these shields come out. The Ice Wall does come down there for Pyros. Pyros now has this Coalescence as well, but look, another Ice Wall there. We are going to see the Coalescence down, sort of to break the Ice Wall. Akidio's going to answer with his own Coalescence. Fossa is going to go down. We're going to see the Blizzard come down here from Omni on top of at least 2 members of Boise State. CBMX is going to get frozen. Basilisk's going to go down. Sulpan already down as well. Modern Frost drops. Pyros drops. CBMX is going to go down as well, so Salad on My Ski going to have to run away. The problem is for Boise State, they're just running into this Ice Wall over and over. Salad on My Ski is trying to run away and do as much damage as possible and get his Blizzard up, but a great job by Sac State to just sort of know where Boise State is, freeze all of them, and then just coalesce all of them.
You'd think at this point they would try to get a Symmetra teleporter out, because this engage is not working. They have tried every angle on this engage, and every time somebody gets blocked out by the Ice Wall, an ultimate ends up getting expended just to prevent any members from going down, and they do end up getting eliminated anyway. Chaotic X going to run the Death Blossom there, does eliminate Pyros. The Blizzard available now for Salad on My Ski. He's going to utilize it, but get taken down immediately, so no response coming through on that Basilisk. Running that sound barrier, not enough to keep any members here alive. CBMX immediately getting stunned down as soon as his ultimate becomes available, and Sulpan now taking quite a bit of damage with the Supercharger up and available, but no members there to be able to utilize it. So every member of Boise State now being taken down, and again, it is going to be a trickle in or a reset for Boise State on having to move back, consolidate, rethink this, and continue to go in without any sort of teleporter, without any sort of engage from a different side. They're continuing to try what's not working well, and I'm not sure it's going to end up going well for them.
No, as we do see 3 ultimates up are here for Boise State, as they're just kind of once they're trying again, try and sneak around. Pyro's going to try and get behind the whole team. We are going to see the Supercharger come down. CBMX and use his as well. Modern Frost going to use the Death Blossom and knock out 2 members of Sac State. 3, 4 are going to go down, but Boise State is also going to lose 4 members. Modern Frost here dueling Chaotic X. You just see 2 tanks and 2 Reapers alive here right now, as Boise State is trying to put some pressure on this point. Psycho's going to go down, but Modern Frost is going to be eliminated, so it's going to be a Sulpan versus Chaotic X. Chaotic X is low, but he is going to pop the Reaper form there, and it's going to be enough, as he is not going to take any damage there, as CBMX is now going to switch there to try and get onto the point, but a great job there by Sac State just answering it. Chaotic X is going to go down. We are going to see some swaps here to try and get to this point. There's only 18 seconds left. The Psycho's going to switch to the Winston here. Sulpan's going to bring out the Winston as well. We are seeing this sort of teams just fighting back and forth. Another great Maywall there by Omni, but I don't think it actually picked anybody off, as CBMX is just sort of flying around the point, trying to knock anyone off, but it's not going to work. Salad on My Ski is going to go down to Omni. As we are going to see the Blizzard come down, it's going to freeze him, but they are going to have the sound barrier to answer here for Basilisk. Actually, no, they're not. Sorry, that was the shield there. Sulpan's going to go down as well. So for right now, Boise State is just trying to keep it in overtime and just sort of swapping back and forth. Chaotic X is going to go down. Karma's going to go down as well. Fossa will go down. So Basilisk doing all he can there to keep Boise State alive in overtime. They haven't even got the 1 tick yet. CBMX is just trying to keep them alive. Pyros is going to pop the Coalescence as well to just try and knock out members of Sac State. Looks like there's 2 members alive, Omni and Psycho. We got to see the ice barrier coming here is Omni. Psycho's going to go down as well. So Boise State finally going to be able to get that point.
Finally getting that one checked. They're going to make it a second one, and Sac State likely just going to allow this one to happen. They will not be able to jump into this. That is going to be the first objective there, but still, considering 4 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock when Sac State ended up winning this round, Boise State is really going to have to push hard to try to break this, and then break the tie after that as well. Basilisk going to use the sound barrier for this initial engage. CBMX going to try to roll around and get in a line to use his minefield, and down it goes. Salad on My Ski died before being able to use the Meteor Strike there. Chaotic X, Death Blossom is going to pick up 1, Standard Gun's going to pick up another, and every other member very quickly falling right after that, the other. So Sac State clearly having the advantage. They now have their own sound barrier available. Salad on My Ski does have the Meteor Strike up, but with the sound barrier in response, it's going to be very difficult to line that up correctly with no other ultimates available. Very, very few above 10%.
I mean, Modern Frost could have the Death Blossom, but I think Carby is going to save that sound barrier. So for Boise State, your goal here is to bait out the sound barrier on a good push as Chaotic X is going to take some damage. We are going to see a great Maywall here come out from Omni, trapping 3 members of Boise State on either side. CBMX is going to get frozen and go down as well. Salad on My Ski and Modern Frost both have their ultimates there, as they're just sort of waiting. I think they're waiting for the sound barrier to come out. Akidio does have the Coalescence. Here we are going to see the Meteor Strike down from Salad on My Ski. He actually take out Psycho. With Modern Frost still holding on to his, Pyros has the Coalescence as well, but he's not going to be able to use it before he dies. Omni has the Blizzard, but unfortunately for Boise State, they're not going to be able to answer as Modern Frost goes down. So Boise State traded members, and they had to use one of their ultimates, and Sac State didn't use anything and now has 4 of them up to Boise State's 2.
not even close to being necessary for Carmi there to use the sound barrier. And you're right, absolutely, Boise State trying to wait that out, waiting for it to be popped in an attempt to get that extra shielding down, and nothing coming from it. Modern Frost still does have that ultimate available. Pyrus has the Coalescence, so they can try to combine something here, but Sac State has 5 ultimates available right now, and that is not going to be a winning answer for Boise State. They're going to try to take another route here, but once again, a Maywall blocking off Modern Frost from the rest of the team. He is able to shift away, but so much damage coming down. CBMX and Salad on my ski both being eliminated here. Modern Frost able to pick off Psycho, still at a good amount of health, and Pyro still has the Coalescence up and available, but again, Boise State is broken apart, and they cannot work with a team like this if they are separated. And 4 ultimates now available from Sac State, so staggering their ultimates because they know they have the upper hand here. They only have to use one at a time if that is even necessary, because Boise State is not able to make any of these engages the way that they want to. They end up trying to find a new route to maneuver through, and immediately Sac State recognizes where they're going, and that Maywall is devastating.
That Maywall, as we are going to see the Supercharger come down here from Fossa, the sound barrier from Carmi, and Chaotic X is going to use the Death Blossom, going to take down Basilisk. Modern Frost going to try to answer with his own Death Blossom. Looks like he will get Chaotic X, but Salad on my ski is going to go down, so 2 members are down. Looks like we are going to see a switch here on Omni into the Doomfist. Soulpan has the Supercharger, immediately going to drop it here as Basilisk almost has the sound barrier. Pyros goes down, Modern Frost almost goes down. Basilisk just trying to get to that sound barrier. Modern Frost is going to go down as well. Omni going to go down as well for Sac State. CBMX and Basilisk going to get that sound barrier. The only 2 members of Boise State left alive here in overtime, as right now everyone else is trying to get their Salad on my ski. Does have the Meteor Strike if he can get back to the fight. Sac State does have 2 members down. They are sort of just switching to as many things as possible. Soulpan's going to switch over to the Wrecking Ball just to get back to the fight. CBMX going to drop down his ultimate as well, but they were all knocked off the point. Overtime still going on here. Salad on my ski going to use the Meteor Strike here. Let's see if he is able to get anyone. He's sort of trying to wait it out. He is actually going to be able to get Carmi there for Sac State, so Sac State and Boise State are just going back and forth. Bastos able to knock Chaotic X away, so right now Boise State has 3 members live on the point. Acadio going to respawn on the Moira. Boise State is just trying to do all they can to keep this in overtime. They just can't keep all their members alive, and the quick respawn, because it's so close for the defenders, is just proving it impossible now, as Sac State is basically just living with 3 members. We are going to see a swap here onto Sombra. Once again, Boise State just trying to pick anything they can to get back to the point as soon as possible here. Bastos finally going to go down. Sac State does look like they might finally be able to take Boise State down, as Soulpan and Salad on my ski go down as well. CBMX trying to get on the point here. Modern Frost going to go down. This looks like this is going to be all they wrote for Boise State. The respawns for the defenders, of course intentional, is just so hard to try and fight off when you're not as 6-man group and you're respawning.
Salad on my ski, though, did such a good job. He was picking off every single individual member that was trying to get at him, a lot of that being granted to the Lucio. So as soon as Lucio went down, they were able to target out Salad on my ski and immediately eliminate him. And once that happened, Boise State was just far too staggered to recover here. Aikido getting the play of the game. Just phenomenal moves from everybody here. Aikido playing that Moira very well every single round. No need to change what's not broken.
Yeah, Boise State, unfortunately, there just couldn't combo the ults together. Sac State had those 4 ults there, and Boise State at the end just didn't have an answer because they couldn't find a combination, because it was 3 of us are all up. All right, now 1 of us is dead, now a 3rd one's here. Now 1 of us is dead, the 3rd one's here, and the defenders can say, we're just so close, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. That's the idea behind that final point there, and that's why it was so remarkable for Sacramento State to be able to collapse on it in the previous round there with 4.5 minutes left on the timer. But hey, we have a very special face here on the desk. Hello, Doc. How are you?
Special face, that's a little bit concerning.
Special in a good way.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take special in a good way. So we're not quite done. We're not quite done. We've been planning a little something special. We've asked 3 of our Overwatch players to stay on stage, and we're bringing 3 folks from the audience to face off against them. However, this is not just your normal, first to 25, kind of death match. There are some little interesting things that are going to happen in this that are going to maybe make it a little bit more difficult for our varsity players to defeat our fans. So we're going to treat you with one more little cool thing before we go. But I hope you like it.
Yeah, I hope so too, because we don't really know exactly what's going on here. All we heard is that there's going to be some disadvantageous situations set up potentially for Boise State members. Aside from that, we're going to explore them as you guys as the audience are going to explore them as well. So this is always fun, the potential for things to win here, and also just we love bringing people from the crowd to play our varsity players. And these guys love playing anybody they can possibly get their hands hands on. So we'll see exactly what situation is lined up here. I believe there are some restrictions on hero selection. That might be part of what Doc was talking about there. Thank you, Doc Haskell, for hopping on and giving us just a smidge of an insight on exactly what we are going to be casting here. But great play by all the Boise State members. Amazing play by Sacramento State. They ended up taking home Rocket League and Overwatch. Boise State dominating League of Legends. So just an all-around great night of video games here at Boise State. Now we'll see how something like this goes. We love doing fun stuff like this too, and it's always a great reason to come down to the stadium and just participate by cheering at these players. They absolutely love it, and sometimes you get the chance to do something cool like this.
Yeah, you get to play on with them. I think the only complaint you can really have from the night is that it wasn't yesterday, because yesterday was National Video Game Day. So that was just an undersight by some people. Of course, I'm kidding, but you would love to have played video games.
Like that's why I was up until 3 a.m. playing Borderlands, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't work yesterday. No, I'm kidding. I was sick, boss. I hope you're not listening. But no, this is a lot of fun.
Oh, here we go. This is what we've all been waiting for.
This is what we've been waiting for here. Salad Out by Ski is just going to jump behind every member of Sac State and knock down all 6 of them. It does look like he was credited with getting... Oh, no, Psycho was the one who got away, and Y took... Mm-hmm. Oh, you can't let that happen.
Yeah, right. Y stealing that one away. But what a great Death Blossom there, and Chaotic X8 really, really proving that he as well can hit some incredible ones. A good Blizzard there coming out from Y. Just not quite enough. Boise State taking so much damage in all of those engages, whether it was the front line or their back line. The focus that Sac State had was so on point.
Yeah, and you see from those replays, and we've seen this, we saw this earlier with the League of Legends match with Drury, is that win or lose, you still see these great moments from these teams come out and the skill level they have. And that's really a great part about esports, and that these athletes show, is that win or lose, they're able to apply themselves to show the skills they have. And even against a loss, like against Sac State, against really, really skilled players, even if you face a loss like that, to still maintain the composure and show the sportsmanship in that, it's really something great. And I know I've been saying a lot about how great esports is now, but sometimes you remind yourself that about after matches like that. Even losing, there's still a lot to be proud of here. And Boise State, by no means, was just a complete pushover there. They had their great moments and skills, and it was great to watch, win or lose.
Oh yeah, and Sac State has always been one of those teams that really provides a difficult team to play against. They showed us exactly why that is the case, and I'm sure we're going to be playing up against them another time soon. That is one of the schools we are closer with, I guess, when it comes to connecting with socials. They have a great team set up over there, as well as some phenomenal players, as we just saw. So expect to see a rematch against this team very, very shortly in the future there. But for now, we get to see exactly what is going on. We can see some players getting hyped back there. They're doing some stretches. They're doing some shakes. We got some hype men, actually, it appears, up front there as well.
All right. Well, we're just getting ready to set this up, and we'll come back to you very shortly. We're going to take a very short break, and then we'll come back to you ready with this match. I can't wait to see this. It's a great, fun way to cap off the evening. Stay tuned.
Boise State Esports is brought to you by Game Pants Arenas and Equipment, Omen by HP, and Archon Clothing, makers of official licensed Boise State Esports apparel.
We are back, and we are just getting ready for the match against audience members versus varsity tryouts. Now, Jolly and Fish, this is kind of interesting because Doc hinted at that there are going to be certain things to cripple, the varsity team to make it. And I'm just wondering, just to brainstorm among us, if you had to, maybe limit someone to a certain character or change that character in a way to make it really disadvantageous, how would you do that,
I would put 2 people on one computer. No, there are only 3 players up there. So when it comes to restrictions, I'm assuming the heavy DPS heroes like Reaper won't be allowed. But again, this is all just speculation. Yeah. We have no idea exactly what is going on here. Maybe forced to all play tanks, forced to all play a specific set of heroes.
Mercy, but you can only use your light gun, or something like that.
It's actually quite good. I'm actually quite fond of that.
But you get what I'm saying here.
Yes.
It's take a hero and restrict it so much to where you can only use one ability that might not be great in all the...
Oh, that's tough. That is tough because there are also heroes. If you go with Reaper and you're only using his shift and his autos, you're fine. You're good. I think you're going to be okay on that one. The teleport really just being used for certain situations. Okay,
I don't know. I would
Rista's another good one that's still solid. Yeah. There are so many heroes.
I would just like to see for entertainment a Reinhardt that can't swing. You can't swing your hammer. You can't use your shield. All you can do is charge around the battlefield, hoping to hit somebody.
So that would be fun, actually, if it was 3v3 Reinhardts just charging each other.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
That is actually phenomenal. We should definitely do that sometime here in the future because that sounds hilarious. You would just have people shooting themselves off the edges of maps. You'd have people bringing others with them at the same time. Plus a pin itself isn't going to eliminate another Reinhardt. So you're going to have pins followed up with other pins. It's going to be like a bowling, and it would just be insane. So actually, that's something we're going to keep on talking about because I like that a lot.
Actually, with 6 players, you can arrange yourself into kind of a triangle there. So get 6 pins up there and have a Reinhardt bowling competition.
Not a good strategy though, because you would be lining yourself up though.
Purposely to see who gets the best hits.
Who can get the better pins in. Yeah. At that point, you would have to go in as a wrecking ball. I think you got to roll in as a wrecking ball into not Reinhardt's. At that point, you got to be nobody's pin shaped, but somebody smaller. So Reinhardt's a pretty big target, especially as Hammond. Just a lot of potential fun stuff. We do stuff like this relatively often, and we also speculate things like that. Doc consistently is like, all right, you guys are going to be doing this. I'm not telling you what it is, but you're going to be doing it. And we generally don't know until just the moment before it happens.
Right when they load in, we're okay.
All right, so this is not the end, actually.
Okay, you actually gave me an idea for once you mentioned Hammond golf. You can only get a certain number of swings, and you try to get to a certain goal with the lowest amount.
Cool. Yeah. That's cool. They do have, these are things similar to, for instance, they've got for League of Legends, they have the Scion Ultimate, of trying to do the train, basically making it from one Nexus to the other. Hey, these are things we can absolutely set up with the custom games now available for Overwatch and the such. And so I guarantee you I will be coming up with all kinds of things like this for us to do in the future. Maybe we'll have a whole day of it. Maybe we'll have just an event of weird, crazy, mini golf, bowling, sports within our esport.
We're going to have to take the crowd that's normally very energetic with all the clapping and yells and reduce it to polite golf claps every time someone
I don't think you're going to be able to get these guys to do that. It's not the case.
That's
especially
too much to
when
ask.
we have members bringing cowbells in. Yeah. I don't think you're going to get soft claps from anybody here.
No, you're not.
We like that, though, because it really does hype up the players on the stage there. They thrive off of that kind of thing. It's not intimidating for them. They really need to hear the support from the audience to get into full swing of things, and we'll see now if it's going to be enough for them with some of the people that we have now on stage as well as in the crowd there. Lots of hype coming through, and once we get everything set up, we will hopefully find out or kind of figure out what is going on exactly. I'm not even sure if we're going to know by the end of this what those restrictions are. It'll probably be after the fact. We have to go talk to the players and be like, hey, so what exactly was the situation here? Either way, it's fun for us too.
No, I think I completely agree, and I think you sort of brought up an issue point. If you're the audience, who do you root for? Because you're used to rooting for Boise State, but now you're rooting. You could be rooting for yourself.
You got to root against the semi-pros, you know.
You got to root for what could be you next time we do this.
Yes, exactly. And especially if there's potentially things up for grabs for you to win. Maybe I'm not sure what the situation is right now in that case, but we want to see that. We want to see the morality or the mortality of the players here. And we did see that a bit in the last round against against Sacramento State. But these varsity players are just high school players that ended up being good enough to join our teams, and we have so many varsity players for Overwatch here. They love doing stuff like this. They love finally being able to kind of relax a little bit, have some smiles, even though they're smiling up there on the stage no matter what. Being able to do something fun and interesting, and it feels good to have a handicap on you. That means that you're good, right?
Well, I think in talking about the issue of who to root for, here at audience members, considering that these varsity players get access to such top-of-the-line machines and get to play on this stuff all day, if an audience member has a chance to go up against them and win to get a pair of branded socks, I might go for the audience member this time.
I'm going to go for the audience member. I cheer on our team so much already. We don't get the chance to cheer on regular people. Every so often we do. We did the Uncle Sam Summer Showdown that we did at the very beginning of the season, which was incredibly fun. We had 16 teams, some of which, I think there were 2 of which had some of our players, our varsity players on them, but the majority of them just being regular people, as well as Doc and his family actually on one of those teams. We unfortunately didn't get to see them because they didn't make it into the finals. But it is always fun to do stuff like this and relaxing for them and relaxing for us. It gives us this chance to kind of keep it down. Hopefully,
since we have no idea what's happening right now.
Less professional right off the bat.
This could be something where every ultimate could just be up every fight. That would just be ridiculous for us. Hopefully we get a break. I'm hoping it's like halftime, our ultimate charges for the Boise State players, something that gives us a little bit of a break as we're going to load in and try and figure out what exactly is going on here.
Though, I will say Total Mayhem is probably, if I am on and that is available in the playlist, I am playing nothing but Total Mayhem. I actually miss, when the game first came out, it was only Hanzo and Genji, and it was Total Mayhem, but with only those 2 heroes. It was absolutely absurd. You would just have, and this is, before the rework on the Hanzo shots, so you would just have scatter shots all over the place. You would have Genji's dashing everywhere, climbing walls. Everything was up for grabs there. So we can see Modern Frost is on Bastille there. Basilisk on that Roadhog, and looks like Blackout's already going to be taken down there. Not a lot of damage coming on to the Boise State members. It is 3v0, 4v0, so we are counting down eliminations, and it looks like up at the top they're going to give us a little bit of an insight. First of 30 eliminations here is going through, and a 10-minute timer on the clock. So Meme needs to find the members that they want here, and Basilisk is not the one you want to go for.
No, you never want to go for the tank here. I know as much fun as it would be to see just 2 Roadhogs hook each other. That's never going to be the right answer here, as we are going to see Blackout trying to put some damage in. He needs to get behind the enemy team here. He's going to get eliminated by Pyros. What an orb there.
Healing coming in from that Mercy. She instead decided Lovely is the priority there for the healing, who has his own heal actually there. So Blackout, not a lot of love coming from this Mercy. The whole hog is going to take down 2 members. Modern Frost is going to follow it up with another there as he burns his ultimate. And Pyros is very close to having his available here. So Blackout going to make the swap over. He's like, hey, if you're not going to save me, I'm going to make something so I can get some damage and some charge on my own potentially by setting up a few turrets here. Lovely is very close to having his whole hog up and available. So keep a lookout for that and some shots potentially towards that big circle in the middle, as we love to see the boots.
We are going to see the photon barrier come out there from Pyros. Basilisk is going to walk right into a turret, though. The immortality field is going to come down for So Tragic, So Meme, not picking it off, as it looks like all 3 barriers are going to go down.
Give him a chance, guys.
Yeah, come on.
This is relentless. What are their handicaps? Because I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any handicaps here
right
so far.
There might be something needs to change here, because right now So Tragic and Modern Frost, Pyros, and Basilisk are just sort of running over them. It is just not fair right now. Blackout trying to get in there. We are going to see the Mercy all. Glovely, actually, somebody's going to get knocked off the edge there. Oh, man, the first kill. What a way to do it there as Basilisk gets knocked off the edge with the whole hog. What good job. Way to go. What a way to get your first kill, and hopefully more than just your only kill. Oh, they're going to get another one there. Yes, good job.
And a lot of that was due in part to the Valkyrie being burned there. We're going to get a swap over to the Lucio, and Glovely finally going down, but he does take 2 before he does that. So a little bit of a reconsolidation between this team, but they are split up, and Lucio, as soon as he joins the fight, is going to go down. He didn't get there in time to engage with Glovely and with Blackout. And Glovely getting very, very low, going to have to run away from multiple members here, use his heal, and then get taken down. We need a little bit more of a regroup from these guys. So Meme still has a chance. It's 7 minutes on the clock. It is first to 30, and we've got So Tragic sitting at just over halfway to that point. So Meme, just take a moment, get yourselves together, group up, and re-engage as a 3-man team here.
Yes, as we are going to see Basilisk jump in there on the Genji, see what he can do. He's going to actually knock down there the Lucio. So right now, So Meme just unable to group up. You do see the 2 ultimates there available for So Tragic as Glovely's trying to do anything he can. Blackout's going to get eliminated by Modern Frost there as you saw the amplification matrix come down, as well as the immortality field there, so nothing can really do. Glovely trying to get healed, but it's not enough as Modern Frost just sort of runs him down. Basilisk's able to eliminate as well. So it looks like for right now, So Tragic is just sort of running in because, so as you said, So Meme, you got to group up there. You can't just go in 1v1 every single time. You kind of have something. I do want to know what the handicaps here are.
Yeah, I really do.
I actually have an idea.
Okay. Well, an idea as to what is going on, or an idea for the future?
Handicap is a term also used in golf, and just like golf, they could say that the lowest score is going to win this round instead.
I mean, it does say first to 30 elims. It doesn't say first to 30 elims to win.
No, first to 30 gets eliminated from the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what they're going for here, but definitely thinking that we need a little bit more of a handicap. I'm thinking the 2-man 1 computer is a pretty solid idea there.
That's a good idea.
That is a heck of a handicap there. Blackout going to pick one up for himself. A good swap over to the Mei there. Has Blizzard available, and the whole hog is up on Glovely. A good pull there is going to show Fryrose he is not invincible as he goes down, but Modern Frost in response is immediately going to take down the other all three members there. So Meme now, Glovely is going to swap over. They have 3 eliminations left. That is a full team wipe before they get removed from this one, and now it looks like Basilisk is stuck with them. He is going to take 1 down. We are going to take a quick look at the menu to see what is up there. Just 2 more eliminations here, and a good effort by So Meme, forcing So Tragic to jump through that teleporter, gain some health. A pretty busted move right there. And there we see the photon barrier coming out as well. 1 more elimination for So Tragic to win this, and So Meme working on getting their 5th elimination here for this fight. Still 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, So Meme, they just need to take care of the immortality field, as we're actually going to see that come down there. They're trying to focus down Basilisk, but nobody's taking down the immortality field as he's trying to hook somebody off the edge with him, but it didn't work, so he's going to suicide.
And a negative elimination.
Yes,
They're going down to 28.
Yes,
they're giving him a chance.
Like the idea there, though, as Glovely is going to take down for their 4th one. Basilisk's going to get the whole hog there onto Blackout, so now So Tragic just needs 1 more. If you see the whole hog there, I do think it should be required. He has to get the final elimination, jumping off the edge and killing someone with it. I think that should be the requirement. We are going to see the Diva Bomb come out here. Is it going to be enough? It does. Actually, it is. It's going to get 2 people there, so good job by So Meme to get a couple people there for So Tragic, as Basilisk's trying to go in and get that final kill. He's going to go down there as well, so Meme finally grouping up. We do see the Mei Blizzard up for them as well, as they're sort of running the 1 tank, 1 healer, 1 support. Basilisk trying to go in, hook somebody. We're going to see the amplification matrix come down here, as well as the shield. The Mei Blizzard going to come down, but it looks somebody went down in the process, unfortunately.
Just before we were able to see all 3 members get frozen there, the final member of So Meme does end up going down.
Okay, this is actually really troublesome. I know we just had a loss to Sac State here, but taking out your frustration on 3 helpless audience members is not the way to go.
We've got families to go home to, man. Like, this is brutal. And what a whole hog coming out there. And Modern Frost able to pick up Blackout. Basilisk giving us a little bit of a wave. He's like, hey, yeah, I'm given scholarships to play this game. There's a reason that they're up there. And a bit of an unfair fight. We can see the coaching going through on the non-varsity members. A little bit of a group up as they discuss their following strategy. I'm not sure if we're doing more of this. I'm assuming we are, just because, they break the camera back to us and they don't say that we're ending it. So I'm going to assume the handicaps will be a little bit more intense.
Yeah, let's turn the knob up a little bit on that.
Yeah, I think one requirement is you have to get the Roadhog hook off the edge for the game-winning kill. I think that definitely has to be required for So Tragic. He tried it. You got to try it again. If you fail once, you don't just stop trying it.
But
that's
now,
no fun.
is it not? So I thought that now they changed it, so if you do that, you still get your negative elimination. So it wouldn't actually
you have
win
to trick
the game
them to
for you.
shoot you while you're going down, so then it counts as a death.
Yeah.
So then it's not a suicide.
See?
You have to try and bait them into shooting you.
Because if it is a suicide, you don't
You lose the point, yes.
the point, so it would not
you
be
just
the
cancel
winning
out.
elimination. So, yeah, you would have to do a little bit of a bait and switch there, which, now that we're talking about it, I doubt they're going to go for it. If that is actually the case of what we are doing, we might have a change on the players up there as well. We don't know. We don't know what's going on, but we do know. Oh my goodness, we do know that these players need a little bit more of a handicap if it is going to be the same 3 players up there. Modern Frost, Basilisk, and who else do we have on there? Pyros. It was that quick.
Yeah,
it was that quick, folks.
Yes. I think it was Pyros there. Yeah, I think we need sort of more of a handicap. Maybe make them all play tanks so they can't pull out as much damage. There does need to be something there. And then for So Meme, target the immortality field.
Yeah.
If you can't kill someone when they're immortal, that's definitely one thing you want to do. It can be tricky sometimes. You're like, I'm shooting this guy. I don't want to stop shooting him, but that's the key.
You know what would be cool to see is if we had, I know this is not, obviously, you can't set this up, but if we had Total Mayhem on one side, and if we had regular charges on the other side, that would be quite fun. You have abilities just going off nonstop on the non-varsity player side. And then for the varsity players, they're just having to hold out and wait for their cooldowns to be reduced. So that is not possible, obviously, to set up. You can't do Total Mayhem on one side and then not on the other side. But, if you're watching Blizzard, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be cool for the pro players and the non-pro players, because I'm sure this happens a lot.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many sort of holdbacks you need, as we are going to jump in here and see here. So we have 3 members for So Tragic, Basilisk, Pyros, and Modern Frost versus our 3 lovely audience members who dealt with that last game, and hopefully a little more restrictions for so Tragic.
Yeah, hopefully a few more restrictions and, hopefully enough to give So Meme a bit of an upper hand here, because not only are they the varsity players, they play together a lot consistently. Yeah. They're forced to play together. They're forced to find this teamwork and this synergy that So Meme does not have the chance to get. So the fact that Basilisk is currently on a soldier, it's pretty messed up, man. That's a little brutal. Modern Frost's already going to take Black out of this fight. Looks like the Transcendence is already up and available.
Yeah, I was noticing that. So it looks like for now, at least, the Transcendence has a 5% per second charge.
Okay.
So that looks like he's going to get the 5 seconds.
Yes,
so he's basically just going to be using Transcendence that entire time. There is no way you can do any damage.
All right. This might work out.
Yes.
This might work out. There you go. Basilisk goes down, and it looks like I don't even know, Palzizavar, maybe? Is that how we say that? I can ask them after the matches. It's going to be a little too late then, but
see, this is the strategy that everyone's missing here.
I mean, this is not a strategy that you can bring into any other competition.
This is the next goats in the making right here.
We do love to see a good Zenyatta, and we know the Boise State players love a good Zenyatta. Probably not facing against them with a 5% charge every second on top of the additional charge. Oh my goodness, he's able to take down 2 members there and then immediately throw up the Transcendence after that. Looks like this guy is on fire right now. So you essentially get 1 ball to hit the enemy, and you already have your ultimate back up and available there. Modern Frost is going to go down to Blackout. He picks one up for himself there, a May wall. Going to interrupt his own teammate from engaging on this fight here. Lovely is very deep in on this one. Pyros goes down there to Blackout again.
They're very hard when there's a Transcendence every 2 seconds. Of course, he is on fire, so way to go there. As his Transcendence is already up again, by the way. So it's basically a permanent 2v3 because you can't even hit him while he's Transcendencing. So right now, So Beep does have the 5-3 lead. The Palixar is going to get a 5%. Oh, he's going to just who needs it when he's just going to take them down. Now he's going to pop the Transcendence because, oh my gosh, he got a little bit low on HP. Now Glovely does have the Supercharger available there for So Meme. Modern Frost going to go down as well. I can't tell if the he has increased damage as well, because he's one-shotting a lot of people as he's going to get another assist just sort of using Transcendence. Do they make Transcendence do damage in this? Because he is just picking off everybody.
Yeah, I think that would be a little too much of a handicap there. So Meme, however, is doing a great job. There are 3 eliminations on So Tragic, so they're doing their best to make it through this blackout. They're taking down 2 members. And again, Palzazavar, I'm not sure what that is. That's your fault for making a complicated name, okay?
Yeah. You needed to come up here and talk to us, make sure we understand how to pronounce it. As So Meme is winning right now, 11-3. They do have 2 ultimates up there for So Tragic. Of course, his Transcendence already up again. He's going to pop it at the first sign of damage there. Try and get behind the enemy team. Go over there, heal up Lovely. He is going to try and maybe get a couple eliminations there. There is the Sigma Shield, though, for now, as his Transcendence is down. Now's the time to strike. He is going to basically one-shot Pyros and Basilisk. So
Pyros dropping down directly in front of him, actually.
Yes.
I think it was in an attempt to get the revive there, and did not complete that. Ended up giving up his life. 4 versus 14. So Tragic not able to get another elimination. They've been sitting at 4 for how long now? Pyros does get the revive on Modern Frost, and then immediately goes down to Blackout, who gets stunned up there, able to ice block, and then, the Transcendence again.
Now this is the kind of tranquility I can get behind wholeheartedly.
Yes, it is. Lovely solo is going to be popped out and does get taken down. That's going to be 5-15. So Meme halfway on their way to a win, but it is taking a bit of time here as we get down to about 6 minutes, 10 seconds left on the clock. There's another couple in the favor for Palzazavar.
That was a really tough fall for Glovely there. If only there was some sort of ability that could be spammed every 2 seconds.
I'm really hoping the chat just said, I need healing from Glovely all over and over and over again, because that's just... Come on, what do you do, Palzavar? You got to use your Transcendence on when he's taking damages. It's up almost every second. It's up here right again as Basilisk is going to go down. Modern Frost is going to get knocked off the edge here by Glovely as he's now trying to track down Pyros, trying to just basically kite him around a corner with the Battle Mercy. We'll see if he can do anything. No, he cannot, as Palzavar has the Transcendence up as well somewhere across the map as Glovely is just sort of basically 1v3 in the enemy team. Palzavar going to use the Transcendence over there. So Meme right now only needs 10 more eliminations with 5 minutes on the clock. And for So Tragic, how do you do that much damage so quickly with this comp?
It's not possible. 23 eliminations. It is those orbs also, they always do a ton of damage, and I'm not sure yet if there's an increase on the damage there. I don't believe there is. I think he's just getting some really good headshots in there. Glovely taking quite a bit of damage. Blackout does have the Blizzard available, and Glovely's going to get popped out of the mech, and he ends up shooting Pyros in the face.
There's some healing coming through there.
There we go. That's what we need. Transcendence being popped once more. No surprise. Glovely is going to get the elimination on that one. He's been at 0% for a while, though. That's a little confusing. Does he not get his mech back?
He might not. Maybe that's what they did is they moved all the ultimates. Yeah, it looks like he definitely isn't getting the mech back.
Yeah, he is not, because he would certainly have it back up at this point. Looks like he's just going to have to give up his life there. That's where those 6 eliminations come through.
I mean, let's face it, even as a baby diva, if you have a Transcendence every 2 seconds, that's your own defense matrix right there.
That is true. That is absolutely true. Blackout going to take down Modern Frost again, sitting at 27 eliminations for So Meme. 28, 2 more, and that is going to do it. Can So Tragic get Glovely out of the mech, 24 times more before So Meme's able to get 2 eliminations?
Glovely does have 1% ultimate charge now, so it's not stuck at 0.
Well, he died, and he came back with the mech, so he's sitting in his mech again. He's chasing off.
Trying to get him.
Oh my goodness, is he going to be able to make it back? He does. He does not fall off there. He's able to chase around Pyros, who did his best to get Glovely sent off the edge there. Pyros about to go down. There it is, the final elimination. So Meme going to take this one home for themselves.
We experienced a lot of tranquility there.
Yeah. We asked for a bigger handicap, and we got it.
Quite frankly, I have not seen a display of such skill, of such strategy.
Zenyatta getting the play of the
ultimates
game.
in this play of the game.
It's true. We may. There is the first one. It's going to keep both himself and Blackout alive and in this fight, and not a lot of focus. There it is, the second, potentially could have been popped there.
He could have used it, yeah.
He could have used it, yeah. But play of the game going in favor there, and a little bit more satisfaction coming from the faces of So Meme and some despair on the faces. That was so tragic there, because really their only opportunity was to take Lovely out of the mech at that point and prevent him from getting the mech again.
So what I'm wondering is, were there any handicaps on that first match, or was that to lull us into a sense of not expecting? Like, maybe they just didn't understand what a handicap was and then just hit us head on with the tranquility at the end there.
Yeah, because that was a pretty beefy one. There we see the production crew. Those are our favorite people right there. As much as we love to talk up the players on stage, these guys are really, they make us look good.
They make us
and they make them look good. And I mean, we couldn't do any of this stuff without the production team. So always keep in mind that those guys are right over there doing a very, very hard work. And not only that, but we have rotations on these players. Not all these players have to show up at every event. Every production member has to show up at every event, and they are here no matter what, rain or shine, whether their car has broken down or not. Ray, we know that there was an issue there, and you were still here before I was here, actually, even with a broken down car. So just props to those guys. We absolutely love them. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Quite frankly, without the production team, we'd be three sad and confused people talking to a wall. So
I mean, I wouldn't be sad, but I'd be confused for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank Jolly and you, Fish, for being here, and also Ozcat and Baratel. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And I remember them all in one.
There's a lot of weird names up here.
Thank you all, and thanks. We've already thanked the players and production staff, so the only people to thank left are all of you who have tuned in. Thank you for your continued support of Boise State Esports. That's going to do it for us tonight, but we'll go to esports.boisestate.edu to find out any scheduling to see when the next broadcasts are. As for tonight, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for watching.
Turned around by Camillo. Now Ace Pocket not able to get a shot on, but is able to push some of the players out of the way. Another shot there for Boise State is crossed over. Elsie Curl with a touch, but Zeros is going to be the savior.
So that's where Bouncy House then becomes the follow-up from Red Hot in the mid lane.
Look at this. And a missed Cassiopeia ult. If they would have
as Ace Pocket resets, is able to put this back into play for Boise State.
damage-oriented jungle item, it appears to me that they're also committing their money to a Trinity pull. And as Huge engaged here in the top lane, yes, you may be able to steal the Yasuo ultimate, but can you use it? Oathquark is going to get chunked out from this Olaf. 1v1, really.
Looks like Cosmo may be able to carry this up, as Elsie Coro is going to stuff this one.
To get the engage on this one, his three members are very low. There was a flash out from Baymax, who is able to escape just barely. No, Cobalt gets the elimination there. Shallow is going to be followed through. Red Hot's taking that one for himself. He's going to take 2 tower shots in the meantime, but Oathquark is such a juicy target there. He's not going to give up. Talavin, now the last remaining member of Drury, is immediately going to go down to that Olaf Cobalt. Marshall here proving that they are not one to be taken lightly. Fortunate for Drury in that instance, but the flash in from Red Hot, is it too dangerous of a move? The return ultimate from the return ultimate from Baymax there was used, as well as the flash, the slicing maelstrom though, taking down 3 members there of Boise State. Cobalt now alive, as well as Woojin here, and Cobalt is 1v3 them. Triple kill. On to the Baron. We'll see if Drury has any opportunity. And wow, an aggressive ultimate coming in the SpongeBob Bounty House. The back line is being hit, but great recall there from the Zaya. Can't get Dopamine in the meantime. Is going to take down Miku, and Red Hot's going to take one for himself.
Hold on. Red Hot's, hello? You can't do that.
So much damage. You were talking about the take coming from Red Hot. He doesn't